Hi, Democrats. Today is Friday, January 6th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, January 6th. It is the second anniversary of the insurrection, and I'm not going to call it anything but that. It is the second anniversary of the insurrection. And so now we're at a point where 2 years later, we are watching the Freedom Caucus and their ilk try to interrupt the normal process of democracy once again. They are holding the congressional chamber hostage with their antics and this nonsense. But this is what happens when you allow people to break rules without consequences. I was talking to someone earlier today, and I was talking about, I'm getting ready to date myself, but I was talking about Smokey the Bear. When I was little, there were the commercials, Smokey the Bear and the ones here, and he was like, only you could stop a forest fire. And I was thinking about forest fires. Someone starts a fire that they think that they can control, they think that they can contain, and then the next thing we know, it's gone over a couple of states, it's required all of this, and it's gone over days. That's what's happening right now in the Congress. They allowed Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan and those folks to run amok because it was good TV, because it got them some attention. And now they're holding Congress hostage over some outrageous demands. And what's happening is Kevin McCarthy is giving in to those outrageous demands. So they're going to attack Fauci, though Fauci has retired. They're going to try and impeach Joe Biden. They haven't even said on what grounds. We're going to hear about Hunter Biden's laptop and all those things, but what we're not going to hear about is job creation. We're not going to hear about infrastructure. They're going to be chasing down all of these culture war things that help them raise money back at home. And they're not going to be focused on the things that actually help their constituents back at home. Typically, I get to look at it with disgust from afar. You get to look at it from afar, being disgusted and disappointed. But this week, what we've seen on a national level is that our representatives are once again participating in behavior, anti-democracy behavior, right? We have Josh McKean, who joined the so-called Freedom Caucus and was voting to hold up this process. We have Kevin Hern, who didn't do anything overt. He was nominated and voted on. But if you know anything about parliamentary procedure, at any given time, he could have stood up and said, though I am flattered, I decline the nomination. And then those votes wouldn't have gone to him, and maybe we could be done with this process. But he did no such thing. I don't know if it was ego. I don't know if it was because he doesn't know the process. I'm not quite sure. But his behavior is no less troublesome than Lauren Boebert's. Josh McKean's behavior is more troublesome than Lauren Boebert's in the fact that he hasn't been sworn in and he's already participating in anti-democratic activity while he's supposedly representing us. He switched his vote. He was originally voting for Jordan and the guy from Florida who nobody's ever heard of, and Kevin Hern, honestly. But now he's voting for McCarthy. Makes me wonder, what was he promised? What 30 pieces of silver did he accept? I'm a little bit nervous, and I think you should be too. Because back at home, we have a level of chaos as well. As I mentioned yesterday, in the State House, they're threatening to strike votes of members if they don't like what they're doing. In the State Senate, they're actually campaigning from the floor, which is an explicit rule. The newly elected Speaker of the Senate, or leader of the Senate, newly elected, in his acceptance speech, broke a rule in his first 5 sentences. That's what we have going on here. And they can be so blatant, and they do these things out in the open because they have a supermajority and they're not worried about losing it. And why aren't they worried about losing it? Because we're not being loud enough. I can't be loud enough for all 690,000 registered Democrats. I need your help. So I've been talking about this is the year that we rebuild the party. We don't think of this as an off year. This isn't a wound licking year where we go away and we are mad and sad about what happened in the election in November. This is the year where we help the few races that are running. We give them everything we have, because when Democrats show up, we win. All we have to do is show up in numbers better than what they're predicting, and we win. Excuse me. This is the year to get involved in one of those races. It's also a year to hone your skills. It's a year, if you don't like what you're seeing going on with the party, join the party. Join the party at whatever level, precinct level, county level, district level, state level. Join the party. Bring your ideas to the party, because that's how we get better, is we meld new ideas. This is the year to do that. Now, when I say it's not a year to lick our wounds from last year, we also shouldn't forget the lessons that we learned. We had great candidates running that didn't get the attention, didn't get the help, and didn't get the money that they needed. This is the year that we figure out how we can build our volunteer base so that candidates who are running have enough volunteers. Candidates that are running have enough folks that they can tap into for donations, so that there's enough people around that we have candidates for more races. This is the year that we do that. You're going to hear me say this for the next 6 months, because I want us to change our mindset. This is not an off year. Let's not talk about it as an off year. Let's talk about how important an odd year is, because we can get on the ground and focus and rebuild the party. Get on the ground and focus and recruit more candidates. Get on the ground and focus and bring in more volunteers, bring in more disparate voices. That's what we need to do in this odd year. We have no federal races, but that doesn't mean we don't have races. We have school board races. We have municipal races. We have state questions. All of that will be on the ballot in 2023. It's not just the local elections. All of that will be on the ballot in 2023. So we can't take our eye off the ball. We need to focus. We need to get involved, and we need to bring people with us. All right, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll be back here Monday at 4:15.